Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Just Two Brothers podcast, where we will be sharing our journey so far and some of the simple tactics we've learned that have helped us become great leaders. On this week's episode, Joe and I sit down and discuss the routines we use on a daily basis to help us get that one extra step in our days. I use tactics like journaling, meditating, or taking cold showers. And Joe does some meal prepping. So we sit down and discuss the different ways we try to get ahead in our days. I've used my routines to pull me out of depression and help keep me motivated. And Joe uses his tactics to help him keep ahead in his extra busy single dad life. Don't forget, we're still trying to get up to 100 followers on Instagram. Once we hit that, we are going to do a live Q&A session on Instagram and probably Facebook as well. So go on over to Instagram. We are Just Two Brothers Podcast. Make sure to hit that follow button. That way you stay up on all we've got going on. We just announced our J2B Leadership Community. That's over at J2B Leadership.thinkific.com. We've got a little community going over there. People can join and get together with like-minded people in similar fields as we all are and get to know each other, share some of our successes and how we can be better on a day-to-day basis. We've got a few more announcements coming regarding that in the next few days as well, so be on the lookout for that. Again, follow us on Instagram. Help us get to that 100 followers. That way you don't miss anything that we've got coming out. We've got a lot of exciting things coming. So we also have all kinds of posts on there, different things, tips, tricks to help you throughout your day. So head on over to our social media pages. Make sure to follow us so you don't miss anything. We also talk about doing a caffeine challenge in this episode. We will have more information coming out on that soon as well. That is going to be something I personally do. I don't know if Joe's going to join me or not, but I am going to go for 30 days with no caffeine. I'm going to see who wants to do this with me, so watch for more information on that as well. With that, I'll let you guys get to the episode. Welcome back. Got another episode of the Just Two Brothers podcast.
We're getting a couple in. A couple recorded. And
interesting one here, I think. I'm kind of excited for this one because this has helped me more than anything.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about routines.
Yes.
And I'd have to say the same thing. As a single dad raising two kids on my own, if I didn't have a routine, I'd be a fucking mess.
Yes.
Because there's no way I could keep up with the hectic.
Mentally, physically, all of it. I've always had certain routines, certain things I've done, but there's a lot I've added in the last 7 months. And I told you guys I've been on a journey since the beginning of the year. I was depressed. I did not realize how depressed I was. It was bad. Angry about everything. It's just pissed at the world right now. So much shit that we work for that feels like it's all for nothing. So that one was rough the last couple of years. COVID didn't help, being locked down, not being able to do anything. We used to go out and then we didn't. And now we're getting better about doing it. We've had to kind of force ourselves to start getting out more because we basically, not really, but we turned into somewhat hermits.
Everybody got in a routine of not doing anything, not going out.
Down,
right. You weren't able to go and have fun. And yeah, everybody did that.
Just found our solace at home, and we enjoyed being at home and now we're trying to break that kind of cycle of just being at home all the time.
You have to no longer be an introvert.
Right.
When you learn how to be an introvert with
Right.
COVID.
Right. So yeah, just all of that combined, and I was unhappy with my job, just put me into a very bad spot. And I didn't realize how bad it was until I did. Just went, holy shit, I'm doing this to myself.
Yep.
I have to, well, pretty much thank you for mentioning a couple of things and piquing my interest in different podcasts. I think you turned me on to Tim Ferriss, and I kind of started there.
Mm-hmm.
Went
There's
head first
so
and
much
listening to so
information out
much of
there.
his podcast. I picked up a couple of his books. Tools of Titans, that was huge. I have so many pages with notes, the sticky notes sticking to it of all different things I turn back to. That book has so much information. If you don't know what it is, Tools of Titans is a book by Tim Ferriss where he's taken all of his notes, compiled all of his notes from all the interviews he's done through the years and put it into a book. He's got another one, I think it's a Book of Mentors or something like that. Tribe of Mentors, that's what it is.
Okay.
Is his other book. But he's compiled all of this information from the different interviews he's done through the years into a book. It's like 700 pages, but there's so much. There's a couple pages in there about acro yoga. I don't know if you know what that is, but a couple different moves in there. I can now, my wife no longer has to go to the chiropractor all the time because I can now flip her up in the air with my feet and put her hips back into place. All because of a page in that book.
That's cool.
There's that kind of, there was a section in there about caffeine, and for anybody who knows Andrew Huberman, he's got a gigantic podcast. He's blown up in the last year with his scientific approach to, I guess, life. He breaks it all down in, what is it, proven scientific experiments that have been done. He gives you the scientific data. It's not his opinion or anything. It's, hey, this is what science says. This, you choose to do with it what you want.
Yeah, it's not just stuff that has worked for him. It's
right.
all science-backed information and
right.
Yeah,
He
based on
ended
health
up
and fitness and lifestyle and everything like that. Yep.
right. So he was on an episode of the Tim Ferriss Show. It was episode 616 is the Tim Ferriss episode with Andrew Huberman. There's a lot of stuff in there. He goes on Modern Wisdom as well. Anybody who knows that one with Chris Williamson, another great podcast to check out.
Mm-hmm.
I have a laundry list of episodes. We'll start naming some off as we keep talking about different things, but all these different things made me realize what I was doing to myself and then gave me the information I needed to fix it.
Sometimes you don't realize what you're doing to yourself until it's blatantly put out in front of you. Sometimes you need to read that on a page, or somebody needs to just say some words to you like, holy shit.
Yeah. And you all of a sudden go, oh, wow, that is how I feel. Wait, you mean I'm doing that to myself? Oh, I can fix that. Once you realize it's something you can fix, or that even if you finally realize you have the problem.
You're the one in control of that problem.
Right.
Whether you have the problem or no longer have the problem, you're in control of it.
Right.
You're the one able to make that change.
So I have quite an extensive kind of daily morning routine that I use. I don't know how extensive yours is or what exactly you all do, but
I don't think mine's as in depth or as extensive as yours is.
I put a lot into. I kind of jumped. I have a tendency to. I guess I have a bit of an addictive personality, and I jump all in and try to do too much. And I'm aware of that. I was aware of that as I start doing this.
I don't have that trait at all.
And I have been very careful about not doing too many things at one time or being aware of how many things I'm doing so I don't burn myself out.
Make too many changes, you're going to Yeah, you're going
And
to
I have
mess yourself
things
up.
I started to do that I no longer do, but I have reasons for stopping them. It wasn't just because, I stopped doing them. No, I have reasons for stopping doing them, and I plan to put them back in if and when needed. But yeah, then a couple other things have just carried on, and man, what a difference they make. I'll start with working out. I've worked out since freshman year of college, which that would have been 2005. God, I'm getting old.
So 18 years now?
Yeah, something like that. I haven't been 100% all the time into it, and I have taken bits and pieces off, been busy with whatever. I think there was a chunk in there when I owned my business where I didn't work out at all for a couple of years, but for the most part, I have worked out ever since freshman year of college. I put on the freshman 15 rather quickly. I discovered what beer was and started drinking more and more and more, gained a bunch of weight, started getting made fun of for being fat, and so I started working out. Started watching what I ate, being conscious about what I was eating. I still drank way more than I should have, but I started losing my weight, and I enjoyed working out, and it's just something that's always stuck with me.
Yeah.
God, a couple of times I've had to move back in. That was one thing that came with me and was set up in my bedroom was my weight bench.
Yep. Yeah, I remember working out with you several times down there. Working out down there when you weren't around. Yeah, it was kind of nice having your weights and
I
stuff.
still have that same set too.
You do. Yeah,
It's held up. I've added on to my gym through the years. I don't go to the gym or anything. I have pretty much everything I need in my basement. So I come home and half hour. No, it's never a half hour. It's 45 minutes to an hour and a half every. Right now I'm doing 6 days a week. I'm playing around a little bit more. It's reinvigorated me. The more I've learned about myself and how little I've been actually pushing myself and how much more I have in the tank than I've thought I have all these years. So I'm playing around and seeing what I can't do with myself, trying to gain a little bit of weight.
Yeah,
I'm working out 6 days a week right now, and it's about an hour. And I know you work out now.
Yeah, I've worked out.
That's a more recent change.
It is, but it's not. I worked out. I did for 2 years when I joined the Marine Corps, right before when I was getting ready to go to boot camp, and then afterwards for a little while. And then I had kids and everything, sold everything that I had, didn't have money for a gym, so a couple years go by, I didn't work out again. Then I did for about a year and a half while I was married, worked out, and then things changed and just kind of let it go. Wasn't ever, I was serious about it, like I was consistent about it. I knew I saw results. I knew I felt better when I worked out, but I never changed the way I ate. I just kind of ate the way I was going to eat. I added extra protein in my diet, took creatine and things like that, and never saw, I'd gain a little bit of muscle here and there, but it wasn't impressive results by any means. And then I quit working out for a couple years, and October of 2021, so after my divorce, after all that, I went on a hunting trip down to New Mexico, and we coyote hunted for a week.
Yep.
And when I got back from that week of hunting and hiking and walking through shit and hunting in the desert and everything like that, I'd lost 10 pounds in a week. I didn't think I had 10 pounds to lose, but really it was all just shit in my belly. My gut was a little bit bigger than it could have been. And I thought, if I can lose 10 pounds in a week, that means that wasn't healthy weight in the first place. Because I've been eating more protein. Maybe I should change some stuff and get a weight set again. So November of 2021, I started working out again. I bought a cheap little weight set, used that for a year and a half until I just upgraded in January of this year. But yeah, so I've been back into it for going on 3 years now. Took my diet seriously, started meal prepping. Meal prep's been a huge one for time saving. I told myself when I went through my divorce, I had a conversation, just talking to myself one day, like, yeah, I'm never going to have abs because I like carbs too much. And then once I started working out and figuring out changing my diet and how I was able to gain, I weighed 150 when I came back from New Mexico. That was the lowest I've weighed since before boot camp, since probably high school. I put on 45 pounds last year from November of 2021 to January of 2023. And then I've lost 25 pounds just changing my diet slightly.
Right.
I wanted to bulk last year. I wanted to put on a bunch of weight. And then I wanted to cut it. And this year I decided, fuck it, I'm going to have abs. So they're there. They're not super pro.
You got to shave that fur coat every once in a while.
You can't see them great, but when you got a big fur belly, it kind of covers them up a little bit. But I have abs for the first time because I've changed my diet. I've been able to meal prep. I work out consistently. My workouts though, like I know you schedule yours and yours is like the same time every day, isn't it?
Pretty much. I mean, I just get into my routines and I like to stick to it, but I can adapt it if and when needed, and I'll skip workouts if needed. I'm better about being consistent now than I ever have been, and I'm trying to do that purposely because I'm trying to put on weight right now. Like I've gained 10 pounds in the last 2 months, and that's all because I've actually taken stuff seriously for a change, actually taken it seriously rather than faking myself into thinking I was taking it seriously. That includes counting every calorie that I've put in. I've been doing that diligently and watching what changes happen. And when I make a change to my diet, I see how it affects not only I'm trying to pay more attention to my sleep, how my head feels every single day. Is my brain clear? Am I able to think clearly? Am I able to do what I need to do on a daily basis? How is my motivation level? How is my happiness level? How's my mood? I'm trying to pay attention to all of these things and how the different foods and things all interact with everything.
That's what I was going to say, is because your food has a huge effect on how you feel throughout the day, how clear your head is, just how good you feel.
I have found that if I eat eggs in the morning without a bunch of carbs, I am able to function throughout the day without any dip in my performance anywhere along the line. I don't know what it is about that ratio of protein to fat maybe, but something about that breakfast for me, I am able to sustain all day long. My brain works like I need it to. I have the energy, the motivation I need to throughout the day. But if I start throwing too many carbs in there, now I start getting tired. I don't have motivation. And it's even worse if it's sugary bullshit carbs. Mm-hmm. So stuff like that I'm trying to pay attention to. And then how I feel throughout the day. How is it when I work out? I've been keeping better records of my weights throughout my workouts. And then watching how my food affects my output there as well. Oh shit, I can tell I didn't have any carbs today. I'm running out of gas.
Yeah.
At 6-7 reps rather than my 8 reps. Mm-hmm. Or I had to drop 10 pounds today because something's off.
Yeah.
I got to go back and look and see what changed. Oh, I didn't get, maybe it was my sleep. Oh, yep, I didn't sleep as well last night.
Or, I mean, even the time of day that you work out and how your day went that day could have an effect on it.
Right. I
work out different in the morning than I do after work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes I think I have more strength the first thing right in the morning than I do.
Well, yeah.
I mean, before I've even eaten a bunch and everything, I used to come out here and work out. I'd work out on an empty stomach as soon as I'd work out. And then as soon as I'd wake up, I would work out. And then I would eat after that. And I had more energy and more strength than I did halfway through the day.
Yeah.
after I've eaten and after I've actually had my carbs and everything like that.
And it all depends on what those meals were before you worked out too, and that's going to affect your pump and everything else, because if you're not taking in a bunch of carbs, you're not going to have anything pumping into your muscles as you're working out, and your glycogen and everything else is going to run out. And
you have no energy, no sugars in your body at all.
yeah, we could go on and on forever about that. But yeah, working out has been a huge one for me. It accomplishes a couple of different things. It gives me, I've talked about my anger. I have to control that. That has been a consistent, healthy outlet for my anger. I've been better about using my anger in my reps than I have been in the past. But that has always helped me kind of maintain that clear head. And yeah, it makes me feel good.
Yeah, and
I look better because I work out. When you look good, you feel good. I will never not work out. I will work out as long as I can. And I'm trying to be better about that warming up and everything else too. What supplements can I take to fix up the areas of my body which are hurting or whatever because of neglect or whatever it might be. So just all around taking care of my body. I want to be able to play with my grandkids, great-grandkids, great-great-grandkids when I'm 70, 80 years old. I don't want to be gone at 60 using a wheelchair or whatever it might be because I didn't take care of myself.
And that's another big reason why I work out too. And that's why I worked out when I was married and everything like that. The question was asked, why do you have to work out? Who are you trying to look good for? And everything like that.
Yep.
When I was in a relationship, and nobody. But I have kids that I'm trying to raise. And if I can't chase them around and run around with them,
right?
What the hell kind of a dad do they have?
Right.
They have a dad that they're going to say, oh, he can't do anything because look at him. It's going to take too much out of him. That's setting a terrible example for my kids. And they just don't have the dad that they need.
Right.
So my kids are going to have energy. They're going to run around and play. I'll be damned if I'm not going to be able to do it with them.
Right.
So I'm going to take care of myself so I can. And they keep me busy. If I did not exercise, if I did not work out, man, they'd kick my ass. Yeah,
And now I just love it. It's part of who I am, and I love it. I love going down and pushing myself, and I'm appreciating the grind for what it is now more than ever.
What do you mean by that?
It takes dedication and hard work and a hardened, to an extent, mentality. Yeah. You are putting your body through shit. It's hard work.
That you can't do. I mean,
you can quit at any time. You're choosing to continue to push through that discomfort because you know the outcome is worth the work you're putting in. You're proving to yourself day in and day out what you are capable of. And then every time you work out, you push yourself that much harder. Fuck that, one more rep. Fuck that, one more rep. I got another one.
Mm-hmm.
Apply that to your everyday life.
Well, that's why a lot of people, I've heard it said on a lot of podcasts and different conversations of starting to work out it opens the door to changing your life.
Yes.
Because once you realize what you're capable of and you have that consistent background of look what I wasn't able to do before and look what I can do now, you just prove to yourself that you're capable of it. And
right.
You do that exact same thing. You apply it to every situation in your life.
Yeah, I
suck at this now, but if I do 100 reps of it, I'm going to be better.
Or this sucks. This is hard work. Gyms at the beginning of the year, every single year, everybody's going to work out. I'm going to be so much healthier, so much fitter. Not even a month later, they're all gone. It's hard work.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't come easy.
Prove something to yourself. Watch what that does in your everyday life. So I've grown to appreciate that for what it is. Taking the things that I find difficult, and when I don't want to do something, pushing myself through that because life isn't comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
more you deal with the discomfort, easier everything's going to be. Because it's going to be fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It will be uncomfortable.
And
Sorry.
You're just proving to yourself what you're capable
Look,
of.
I can do it. I can deal with this discomfort. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
That leads into kind of jumping around in the order. I can run through the order that I have my morning routine because I do a specific order, but kind of takes me into the cold shower. This has again been adopted from, I first heard about it from Tim Ferriss, and I think he took it from Tony Robbins. He's actually got 2 episodes with Tony Robbins, which is a great couple of episodes if you want to check that one out. Again, we'll link to a lot of these in the description. So if you're looking for something else to check out, make sure to look in the description below. But Tony does a, what's it called? Primes himself in the morning or something like that with cold, I think he does a cold plunge or a cold bath, whatever. Tim Ferriss talked about it, and then Andrew Huberman talked about how it's good for your dopamine.
Mm-hmm.
Good for your dopamine levels. If you need a dopamine fix, which is a lot of your vices, I guess, that's where you're getting your dopamine. So that helps give your body that dopamine that it's craving and gives you that release for the start of the day. I find it wakes me up. It does put me in a good mood. And very, 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 very few mornings do I actually want to sit in that cold water at the start of it. Once I get through into it, it's fine and it goes away. The discomfort isn't so bad. But very few mornings do I stand there and go, all right, let's do this. I'm excited for this. No, it fucking sucks.
Every single time.
And I made myself push because I was being a little bitch about it and jumping out at, it's too cold at a minute. And I finally one day said, fuck that. You are staying your ass in here for at least 90 seconds. And then I started saying, okay, you are just being a little bitch. Let's see how long you can actually stay in there. So I was pushing up over 2 minutes and whatever. I haven't seen how long I can actually stay in there because I have a schedule to keep. But yeah. So it puts me in a good mood. It helps wake me up. And it proves to me first thing in the morning, I can deal with discomfort. I already have tackled one challenge today. The rest of the day is easy, in a sense. I've already accomplished one thing today. Already overcome one obstacle. I feel good about it. It's one way to look at it. And I know we did the polar plunge back in January, and that was kind of spurred from I had started doing these cold showers in the morning to help pull me out of my funk, and it really did. And I continued to. I do enjoy it. It sucks knowing I have to do it, but I do enjoy them. And yeah, it makes me. I do feel like in the winter, it made me able to handle the cold a little bit easier.
Didn't bother you as much.
Right. But yeah, I kind of just enjoy that feeling after the fact, and I am awake. I found when I do it at night, if I end my shower at night with a cold shower, I think I tend to sleep better. I don't know if it helps just down-regulate my body temperature. I tend to be hotter at night, and yeah, I get very, very warm when I sleep, so I don't know if it helps just keep me cooler, but I tend to sleep better when I take a cold shower. I don't know if you carried on any of that after the polar plunge, but you worked up to that.
Some.
I hit 90 seconds every single morning.
I've taken some cold showers, but I don't do it daily. It's been a while since I've done it. Yeah, I like it. I enjoy how it makes me feel. It's just one of those. I don't think to jump. I don't shower in the morning.
Okay.
I shower at night before I go to bed, just because of what I do during the day and everything like that. And I want to go to bed clean.
Yeah.
I like going to bed clean. So I'd never jump in the shower in the mornings. And then I haven't taken a cold shower at night because I was concerned that it would wake me up more than put me to sleep, I guess. So now I'm curious to try that and see how that works.
It does wake you up, but if you know you're like, do a half hour before you go lay down or whatever it might be. That way you know you're going to lay down. It just, I don't know. It helped. I think I sleep better on the nights where I do that. I feel more rested the next day, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So what else do you do?
The very first thing I do every single morning, and has been one of the greatest things I have started this year, is meditating. I absolutely love it. It has opened my eyes to an entire different world around me. I'm more aware of my surroundings. I'm more aware of myself. I find the world more interesting because I'm paying attention to the world around me more than I ever have.
Because you can control the thoughts going through your head a little bit more?
Yeah, I'm not letting the world pass me by like it was. Still, we all fall into our traps to where your day just goes by.
Mm-hmm.
But I am now able to catch that and slow it back down. And that awareness of myself helps me in the situations I need to be aware of my emotions, my feelings, my opinions, my thoughts. Still have my struggles with anger and whatnot, but it has helped me get so much better at not doing things that got me in trouble in the past. And I meditate. Started out, I actually heard this from Tim Ferriss. He had an interview with Tara Brach, and I used her guided meditation. She has it's a 30-day guided meditation program that I signed up for, and I actually ran it twice just to get like a beginner guided meditation, and they walk you through all the different things you can do in different stages and stuff like that. So I ran through that twice, and that's how I started. And then I pulled up, heard podcast on Tim Ferriss with Sam Harris, and he actually has Waking Up. It's an app that you can download. It's a meditation app, and he's got all kinds of different guided meditations on there. So I downloaded that app, and I tried that for a while, and he's got a lot of really good ones. But yeah, meditation has helped me more than anything. And it's given me a different perspective on a lot of things and caused me to think more than I ever have. I've learned more and thought more in the last 7 months than I have in a long time.
Which is interesting that you feel you think more, but you don't find yourself stuck in your thoughts.
No, I can pull out. I'm in control.
I don't do that.
I'm in control of what I think about.
Yeah.
Starting to have a bad day, guess what? I'm in control of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm choosing to continue to let myself have a bad day. I can stop that.
You find that meditation has helped with that?
Tremendously.
With being aware of your emotions and everything?
I never thought about it like that before. Before I heard of meditation and actually tried it and stuck to it and paid attention, I never, ever thought about it like that. I thought it was just the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you can appreciate that.
Yep.
And you and I have
Very
had
much
conversations. So. You have actually been surprised by what meditation has done for me.
Yeah.
We've had conversations about things, and I've asked you questions, and you've said, I can't believe that's what it made you think of. I've had that because of other things. I've had some of the same type of experiences through meditation that you have from psychedelics.
Yes.
And I know it is proven. I believe I heard this through one of Tim Ferriss's podcasts, but it's proven that meditation and psychedelics activate the same portion of the brain, which is crazy to think about.
It allows you to access certain parts of your brain and rewires it.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Meditation has been huge, critical, absolutely critical for me.
That's good. That's interesting.
I know you're not really supposed to talk about it and push people, and I try not to, and I don't push it, but I do enjoy suggesting meditation for a lot of people, to a lot of people, because of how much it has done for me. And if you take it seriously, it's a game changer.
That's awesome. So then how long do you meditate every day?
Right now I spend 10 minutes. I sit down for 10 minutes every single morning. That's the very first thing I do. I get up, I drink a glass of water, not a full glass of water. I have a gigantic glass I carry around with me all day, every day. But I drink about 8 to 12 ounces right when I get up, walk out to the kitchen, and I drink my water, and then I go sit on the couch and meditate.
So
Nobody else is up.
Before your cold shower?
Yes. Now I'll get up, go to the bathroom, and then go sit down. Meditate for 10 minutes. Every single morning. I want to get better about going longer, but I don't want to get up right now any earlier than I already do. I'm already up at 6:15. I don't have to be work till 8. So I don't want to get up any earlier right now. At some point, I'll
make that switch.
Take care of business and do what I need to. But for right now, 10 minutes is good enough for me. It's enough to keep me aware and remind me that I'm in control. So it works for me. When I first started, right after meditating, I would go journal. And I just used the 5-minute journal tactic where I just literally sat down, put pen to paper, and started writing whatever was in my head.
Just kind of word vomit with your thoughts.
Yeah, it could have been about absolutely nothing. It could have actually had a point to it, but it was just writing words. And I did that. I have since stopped that for now because it solved the problem I was wanting it to. I enjoy thinking through my thoughts, and I don't need to express them. It's just, I guess, how I've done it for years, and I'm good with it. But I got to a point to where my mind would not stop racing. I couldn't shut it down at night, and as soon as I would open my eyes in the morning, it was going full speed. I didn't realize that until I started meditating, and then I got tired. Like, I'd wake up and like, oh my God, this is frustrating as hell. How do I stop this? This is miserable to wake up.
It's exhausting.
Like, anxious every single morning about all the stuff I've got to do. So I started writing, and I found that got those thoughts. Actually writing them down kind of forced me to deal with it to an extent because there was so much shit going on at the time. It was all just jumbled up and kept going over and over and over and over and over my head because I couldn't fully deal with it because I wasn't fully going through the problem. It wasn't until I wrote it down into a complete thought that I could then process it. Because otherwise it was a bunch of half sentences tumbling around in my brain. And that's not good. So I just basically woke up in a panic every day. And I started journaling.
Write it down, get the problem out on paper.
I wrote every morning for 2 months. I even ended up getting to a point to where I was writing in the morning and at night. Only did that for a little while, but yeah, I don't currently journal, but that was a tactic I used. Hell, I suggest that to people all the time now too, just because it helps you verbalize thoughts. Once you can verbalize the thoughts, you can actually logically try to deal with it. Otherwise, it's just an emotion. Once you actually write it down, now it's a thought. Like you can physically see it and deal with it.
Sometimes you can realize how stupid your thought is.
Maybe.
Wow, I'm really worked up about this.
Right. After I journaled, for a period of time, I was jumping on and riding my bike for 15 minutes every single morning. That was, again, adopted from Andrew Huberman. I'll link to the episode. But Getting that spike in your heart rate in the morning is good for your metabolism. It's good for your mind, your body, all kinds of things. Good for your health. It gets things going in the morning. And I went right from riding the bike into my shower. Now I'm sweating and stinky. Yes, they say you're supposed to wait a certain amount of time if you're going for endurance and all. There's all kinds of different nuances about the cold therapy.
When to take it, when not to.
Based on when your exercise is. I didn't much care. I wanted the spike in heart rate. I wanted to get my blood flowing and my day started. And then I wanted to take my cold shower. So I'd jump in and I'd wash up and then 5 minutes and then finish with that 60 to 90 seconds of cold. That got me out of my funk in about 6 weeks. Really, me realizing that I was in a funk and I'm in control of it pulled me out of the funk, but that got me onto the steady path of I was in control. I was actually in control of my mood. It wasn't running me anymore.
And we all are.
Right.
It takes a lot of people a long time. Some people I don't think ever truly understand that. You can control your mood.
Right. So yeah, I started off with meditating, then I would journal, then I rode my bike, then the cold shower. Huberman had also mentioned about sunlight exposure in the morning. Supposed to get 2 to 10 minutes of sunlight exposure directly into your eyes. It helps get the
not like go outside and look directly at the sun.
Yes. 100%.
Directly at the sun?
Yes.
Stare at the sun?
Yes.
I think he
If
says,
it's uncomfortable, you got to glance off to the side of it or whatever. But yes, you want to look as closely at the sun as you can without it being uncomfortable because you don't want to hurt yourself and damage your eyes. But I would literally go out and stare. Like you look where the sun is, I look just below it and stare at that.
Oh, I didn't hear that
for
part.
2 minutes. Yes.
Sunlight exposure, I heard, but not staring at the sun.
Yes. He's had to go back and tell people, like, I'm not telling you to damage your eyes. Do it smartly. Be smart about it. But yes, you got to look at the sun. And Tiff would be standing there and her eyes would just be running tears because it kind of is uncomfortable. Not to mention it was like middle of winter, January, February when we're doing this. So it's freezing cold here. That doesn't help either.
Nope.
Being that cold staring at the sun. But yeah, that helped get me in a better mood. But that also helped, I found, regulate my sleep. That got me to trigger my body, especially in the winter. It's super bad because we don't get a whole lot of sun here. And then by the time I'd get to work, it was still dark. Get out of work and it's still dark. Like I wouldn't see the sun all day. So going out and forcing myself to look at the sun for those couple of minutes triggered my body to know, okay, 12 hours from now, we're supposed to be getting tired. I think it triggers adenosine release or something like that. Triggers adenosine, or you get your body to start releasing adenosine so you get tired when you're supposed to. So that was something else I started doing. Caffeine. I did not realize how bad caffeine was for me. Just how bad that was screwing me up.
Oh, the first thing you did in the morning, wake up, make a cup of
soon as
coffee?
I would get up, go and make coffee. While having all of these other things I was doing got me away from that without me even thinking about it. And then, again, Andrew Huberman talked about how caffeine consumption that early prevents your body from producing adenosine because caffeine is an adenosine binding agent, I believe. Or it binds to the adenosine receptors, so it prevents your body from feeling tired. Something like that. Not a freaking scientist. Sorry, everybody, if I'm talking completely off base here. I do apologize. Like I said, we will link to all those Huberman and Tim Ferriss and Modern Wisdom episodes. There's so much information that those guys have given me. If I could ever thank them personally, I would love to, but probably will never get that chance. But we will link to all their stuff so you guys can get your hands on as much of this info as possible because it has been life-saving for me. But he talked about how your body starts to build or starts to produce adenosine, but it's not until later in the day. Well, when you start taking caffeine in right first thing in the morning, your body isn't even producing adenosine for the caffeine to bind to, so you're just getting yourself more and more and more out of whack every single day.
Yeah, and it doesn't actually do anything for waking you up.
Right.
Yeah, it just more or less causes you to get tired when you crash.
Right, because it hasn't bound to any of that adenosine, and it's all there and just comes flooding out when that caffeine's gone a few hours later. So he suggested waiting 60 to 90 minutes before you intake any caffeine. I noticed as soon as I started doing that, I do not get tired at 2 o'clock in the afternoon anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a day that goes by where I get tired in the afternoon. Unless I slept like shit the night before because of some other reason, I don't get tired in the afternoon. I have steady energy all day. And then at night, I get tired. Or before, I wouldn't be tired. Shit, I was drinking caffeine until 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. Because I could. I could drink a cup of coffee and go to bed. But I didn't realize what that was doing to my health. And I never really thought about the long-term effects of all of that caffeine consumption.
Or how that affects your sleep.
No, none of us do. Especially, we're so bad. We live on caffeine. There's so much caffeine in everything.
Yeah, and
You ever heard people from other countries talk about our energy drinks?
Mm-mm.
They can't believe it.
How much caffeine's in it?
Yeah. Like, holy shit, no wonder everybody is the way they are.
We've done it to ourselves.
Yeah, well, that's another story, but... So yeah, the caffeine, both consumption and the time that I consume or begin to consume has all changed. I have cut back. I used to drink a pot of coffee, 10 to 12 cups of coffee every single day.
Yep, I was the same way. Exact same way.
Now I no longer... Oh, on top of that, taking a 300 milligram caffeinated pre-workout on top of whatever else I might have had throughout the day, but I don't know how I didn't have a heart attack. Like, legitimately thinking about it, how the hell did my heart handle that? And that's not healthy. So yeah, now I don't even take a pre-workout anymore before my workout. I stopped that altogether. But for the last few months, I have cut out the caffeinated pre-workout and went to just
non-stim.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I didn't want that extra caffeine. I was working out at 6 o'clock at night, so it's not good to have that much caffeine. That's going to affect how you go to sleep and your quality of sleep too. I think they say caffeine consumption later in the day prevents your body from achieving REM sleep. Again, a lot of this is regurgitated from Huberman, so apologize if I'm misquoting stuff or saying stuff wrong. We will link to all of that so you can clarify the information I am giving, but...
Do your own research, because we're not scientists.
Exactly.
This is just what we've read, we've heard. This is what works for us.
Doing the best to give you guys the information that I remember or how I interpreted it, but if you want the actual information, go get it from the source, and we do our best to link to all of that in the description.
What else do you do? So that's like your morning routine. You don't intake caffeine or anything like that?
I've stopped after 5 o'clock. I don't drink coffee anymore after 5 o'clock. That has helped me sleep better, which then in turn makes me so I don't get tired as much the next day, and then intake more caffeine to patch over the shit night's sleep, which then I have to make up for the next day with more caffeine, which then I have to make up for the next day with more. See how that just perpetuates itself?
And then you end up drinking 2 pots of coffee a day again.
Exactly. So I'm taking that stuff seriously and taking my health seriously, my long-term health. I'm not looking at it as, 75-year-old Ryan's going to have to deal with that. No. 36-year-old Ryan has to deal with that now, so 75-year-old Ryan can live his best life.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever taken not had caffeine in a day and seen what that does to you?
I actually just did that 2 weekends ago.
How'd that go?
Fine.
You had no caffeine whatsoever,
Exactly.
and your day was fine?
Yes.
See, I have the worst caffeine withdrawals ever. I get the worst migraine I've ever. I will almost be in tears and can't open my eyes if I don't have caffeine in a day. That's what it does to me. I learned that in the Marine Corps. I'd bring caffeine pills with me everywhere because if I didn't have coffee in the morning, I'd have a migraine and I'd be miserable.
Huh.
Yeah,
And I know that's
years ago.
common, but yeah, no, I don't have any issues. I just did it 2 Sundays ago. So another thing I do, I take greens every single morning. I have a scoop of greens. I know I tried to get you to take them and they didn't work out so hot for you,
Nope.
but they work out awesome for me. Jenna, actually, I've seen them again through Tim Ferriss. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but that was where I first heard about him. He's big on athletic greens. I didn't want to fork out the $90 a month for that stuff, so I did my own looking. Jenna had actually found some. I don't remember the name of those ones. They were like a watermelon flavored one. They were actually pretty good, but I liked the energy boost it gave me in the morning. I noticed I could drink that and I was good. I'm awake. I'm alert. I can function. Didn't really do anything else with that other than, okay, that's cool. Then I drink my coffee. Well, I started this new brand. It's called ENSO Supergreens. I will drop my code. There's no paid promotion or anything like that. I really like this brand. It's got a lot of different stuff in it. 35 different ingredients, I believe. Bunch of different vitamins and stuff, and it makes me feel great. It wakes me up. I've heard bad reviews about other greens that kind of taste like dirt. I've had a few other greens that taste like dirt. This one is a minty flavor. It's kind of a little bit of an acquired taste, I guess you could say.
It reminded me of like mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
But kind of like it was 100% mint chocolate chip, but it was kind of odd.
Yeah. And to be drinking it is weird. But I've grown to, it doesn't bother me at all. I can sip on it and enjoy it now in the morning, and it's just a little, like almost like a mint tea kind of is how I look at it. But it makes me feel great. And I've been talking a while about, I should try just with the greens, no caffeine, and see how it feels. So I did. I didn't have issues all day. I think I mowed the lawn that day. I worked outside for a while. I think I put in a workout in the afternoon. Felt great. I didn't have any caffeine withdrawals, nothing. I don't know if it's from the greens and just my body utilizing vitamins and minerals the way it should be. But yeah, I felt great. I didn't have any issues. I love my coffee. I love my coffee. I drink it black every single day. I French press or do a pour over I love my coffee. I love the flavor of it. I don't want to give it up, but I am seriously tempted to give it up for a while and see what it does. See how my life changes. That has been spurred from modern wisdom. Switch to a decaf? Yeah.
I've had a problem with the thought of switching to decaf. Don't think it tastes the same. And I haven't tried decaf coffee, but I view it the same way that I used to look at drinking.
Yeah. Why bother?
I'm not going to drink a non-alcoholic beer. Right. If I'm going to drink a beer, I'm going to drink something that's going to get me drunk because that's what I'm drinking for.
Right.
That's how I looked at it. So if I'm going to drink coffee, I'm going to drink coffee for what the hell I'm drinking coffee for, which is the energy. Granted, I love coffee, but I don't want a decaf coffee.
Yeah, and I just don't think it tastes the same. And maybe that's all in my head because I'm subconsciously telling myself it doesn't have caffeine, it doesn't taste as good. I don't know, but I don't feel it tastes as good. So if I'm going to cut it out, I'm just going to cut it out. Plus, I want to prove to myself I have that discipline. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Still fighting through that with certain things, but yeah.
So you cut out you're thinking about cutting out caffeine.
Yeah, that's been spurred from modern wisdom. I think recently he's been talking about how he has cut out caffeine consumption for 500 days or something like that. I think Chris has cut out alcohol for 2,000 days, and he's at 500 with caffeine. And that's kind of got me thinking more and more about, and he talks about, like, you don't even realize what you're like not on caffeine. That hit me. Like, holy shit. People want to talk about drugs.
You're ingesting a drug every single day.
I don't think there's been a day, maybe now one or a couple of hungover days where I couldn't stomach anything, where I haven't had caffeine in 20 years.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know what it's like not on caffeine, especially an extended period of time without caffeine.
Not including pop or anything else that you
Right,
drink.
and that hit me like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
I can't get through my day without a coffee. Can't you? Fucking try it. See what 30 days without a cup of coffee would do. And who knows what that's going to, like, what would my sleep be like?
Yeah.
Without any caffeine. I, honest to God, cannot remember a dream, and I don't even know how long. I do not remember dreams. Would I all of a sudden have dreams if I stopped caffeine? Would I remember my dreams? Would that mean I'm actually sleeping better if I start remembering my dreams? Am I not sleeping to my full potential right now? Why am I not sleeping to my full potential, if that's the case?
Because I remember trying, I wanted to drink coffee. I liked coffee. And I remember when I was getting into drinking coffee, I would mix it with shit and then slowly got my way. I never liked creamer and all that stuff. So I just had like hot chocolate mix into it when I started drinking coffee, like 16, 17 years old. And then I just went to black coffee. And it's been black coffee for, probably 12 years now. And yeah, same thing. I like my coffee. I don't want to quit drinking coffee, but I don't know what the fuck I'm like without coffee.
That one hit me hard, man. I was like, damn. And he was like, I'll have to find that episode and link to it in this, but he was like, dude, you don't even know. You don't even realize. And I was like, holy shit. You're absolutely fucking right.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue what my life would be like without caffeine.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something that...
And he says it's so prevalent. Nobody thinks about it.
It's so normal. I mean, it's just like if you...
And that's what he says. Like, you couldn't say, oh, I got to go get my morning crack. But that's what it is.
No, but it's the same way with... It's the same thing with smoking and everything like that. Like, you grow up with parents that smoke. You're more likely to smoke because it's a behavior you watched. We grew up with parents that drink coffee all day long.
Yeah.
By the time they wake up, mom will still heat up coffee at the same cup usually that she started in the morning.
Yep.
At 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night and still be drinking coffee. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
And now, I've had to realize when I can stop drinking coffee, but it is something that we've all grown up with, and we started drinking coffee, and
caffeine is a normalized drug.
I want to say...
But that's exactly what it is.
I think you and I are the heaviest coffee drinkers in our family, besides Dad, maybe.
Josh, I know, can't.
Josh doesn't drink coffee, and
can't.
I don't think Kyle or Eric do either.
Yeah,
Kyle does.
Yeah, Kyle does. I know,
but I don't think he does as much as we did. And I used to drink.
I know he's always got a coffee cup with him.
2 pots of coffee a day.
See, I was never that bad. Ron and I could get pretty bad, and we would drink a lot of coffee, and then we'd spend 27 straight hours working. But
I had a coffee pot in my office, so I'd make coffee in the morning when I'd leave for work. I'd drink that. I'd make more coffee, and I'd make 2 pots of coffee at work.
Mm-hmm. I'd bring a pot of coffee to work, and then we'd make more in the Keurig throughout the day.
Like, what the hell are you doing? Like my coffee.
Yeah.
A whole fucking upstairs smells like a
No,
coffee house.
I was just band-aiding all the shit I was doing to myself. That's all it is.
Shit diet and everything else, and the bad sleep. And
Ooh, would anybody be interested in doing a caffeine challenge?
I was actually thinking about that.
I wonder if we should run one. Let's throw it out there.
Go a month without.
See what people say.
Go a month
Who'd
without
be
caffeine.
willing to do a caffeine challenge with us? I'll give it a shot.
Oh man, thinking about that cup of coffee in a tree stand.
Dude, don't. Don't.
I don't want to ruin that.
Ah. Yeah, but think of the headache it is to make it in the cabin. There you go.
The shed.
Cabin, damn it. It's our cabin.
Anywho. So back to your routine. What else?
Other than that, I've picked up reading.
You read every single day?
No. I did for a minute, and I was going through book every week or two. I got a couple books going right now, and it's been a minute. It's hard in the summer, more active in the summer. I got more going on. I have to get outside and take care of the yard and stuff like that, so I have less time available for sitting around. In the winter here, you can't do anything outside, so you're inside more and just able to sit. I should be more efficient with my time that I do sit around, but right now I'm not. It's my choice. I know that. I know at any point in time I can choose to read more. I have a goal of 10 books. I think I'm through 5, working on 6 and 7 right now. So I'm on track for my goal, which makes me happy. That's
Making progress.
I can blow my goal out
something.
of the water if I want to, but yeah, I set a goal of reading 10 books this year, and not a daily routine, but it is something that has been good for me.
It's
Got me
easier to
back
do
into
in
the
the
learning
winter.
mindset
Yep.
and growing. There's more to life than what we've been doing. That's part of the reason we're doing the podcast. Realized how much more I had to offer because of all of this and how little I was actually doing about any of it.
Right.
This has been a pretty interesting journey the last 7 months. And yes, I am calling it a journey because I have learned a lot and come a long ways. I still have a long ways to go, and I'll
We all do.
never get to the end of it. If I'm doing it right, my journey to get better and be better will never end.
No, because you should always be improving. There's always something to be worked on, always something that you can tweak or adjust. Progress to be made.
So how about you? Do you have any routines, habits?
Mine's not as, I guess, in depth. Not.
I told you,
not that yours is really in
I
depth.
go all in though, and I took on a lot of this stuff all at one time, and I'm proud to say I have stuck through. I've forced myself to stick through. It's hard to create those habits, but a lot of them are habits now. I don't even think about. I wake up in the morning and I go sit on the couch without even thinking about it. I meditate every single day. I know I need that though.
Once you get used to it, once you create the habit,
Yep.
and you create the routine, it's tough getting in that routine and doing it consistently. But once you do it for long enough, it's harder to stray from it.
I took on a lot, and I don't encourage others to take on everything all at once. Don't try to eat the entire elephant. Do it one bite at a time. Anyways, back to you.
My routine, my day starts the night before. So my lunch for the day is packed the night before and put up in the fridge. I do all my meal prep on the weekend, so my breakfast I cook, my lunches I pack, my snacks throughout the day I eat 6 meals a day. All of that is figured out. I eat the same exact thing every single day, except for when I have my kids and I have to cook them dinner. That's the only time I stray, and sometimes I'll make them dinner and I will eat the same meal. because it keeps me on that consistent routine. I can keep my diet exactly where I want it to. I can control all that along with working out. And that's helped me stay consistent with eating what I need to eat, taking in the macros that I need to take in for whatever my goals are. So I do my meal prep. I'll pack my lunch the night before. I usually have dinner figured out. Sometimes I'll have dinner made or prepared to make, throw in the oven or whatever for that following evening if I got my kids or whatever, just to make that process easy. I want to wake up and have everything just automated. So I'll pack everything, I'll get all that stuff ready. When I have my kids, I get everything for their morning out the night before too. So if we're having cereal in the morning, their bowls are out, all their silverware's out, their cups are out for juice, cereal's out, ready to go. So that way when I wake them up, they can come downstairs. I can already have their breakfast made for them, and there's no questioning it. There's no finding everything, no scrambling through the kitchen to get all of it going. And that's all taken care of. Backpacks, any clothes like that, anything like that, I have them lay out the night before. My clothes get laid out for work the night before. I have all of that figured out because I don't want to have to try to figure all that out in the morning.
Okay.
Because, I mean, there's mornings I hit the snooze button too many times and I'm in a scramble. I'm not going to lie, it might enable it a little bit more, but it also, I don't have to think about anything. It's not, oh, fuck, I forgot lunch because I didn't pack everything. I have everything. It's all automated and ready to go. So my day starts the night before. I do all that prep for meals and all that stuff, the kids' breakfast. In the morning when I wake up, the first thing I do is make my bed. That's a habit that, I started in the Marine Corps. There's a video on YouTube with an admiral. What is his name? You know what video I'm talking about, but it's
he's got
a
the
Navy
book too.
SEAL.
Yep.
Who talks about making your bed, and I read that, or I listened to that and started applying it again. I used to think it was just kind of ridiculous, but it's nice to come home at night and know that my bed's clean.
Admiral McCraven.
There you go. So, yeah, I start my day out by making my bed. That way, I leave in the morning, I already have my bed made. My room looks nice. My room looks clean. When I come home, it could have been a shitty day. My bed's made.
I know that's something Tiff does. I don't have that ability because Tiff is still in bed even when I get up and leave for work. But
right.
I know she has started to do that because same thing.
It feels good.
Right.
And what's funny about that is your kids are always watching. And Colt actually told me, he said, he's 7 years old. He said, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to start making my bed." I said, "Are you?" I said, "Yep, just like you do. I'm going to start making my bed every morning." So he does. Every single morning. "Dad, I made my bed before we leave for mom's, or before we leave for school."
You didn't have to force him to do that.
No.
Huh.
7 years old, he just sees, like, "Hey, you make your bed, I'm going to make mine." And I said, "Why do you do that?" I said, "Because it feels good. When you go to bed at night, you don't walk in your bedroom and see everything just thrown all over the place. It feels good to walk in your room and have a made bed. I don't have the luxury of staying at home when I leave in the morning. I drop my kids off, so the fact that he wants to do it instead of me doing it for him is huge. And he's got that personal responsibility at 7 years old to say, "I'm going to start making my bed too." So I thought that was pretty cool that he caught on to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I make my bed.
And it's amazing that you don't have to force him. He
No.
made that choice.
Mm-hmm. So I'll make my bed. My breakfast is already made, so I'll throw my breakfast in the microwave. It's usually eggs. I have 1 egg and 6 egg whites every single morning for breakfast. So I'll throw that in the microwave, heat that up. I'll eat that, go get the kids ready or wake them up if they need to get going, if I have them. Otherwise, I get dressed while I'm eating, clean up, get ready to go. I go to work and my coffee. I don't drink coffee until I'm on my way to work, usually after I drop my kids off or
So you've adopted that too?
yeah, that was
Same
something
reason? I know our paths cross a lot with what we listen to and watch
yeah,
and read. So I didn't
the
know if it came from the same
the
from
90
Huberman
minutes
or
roughly from Chris Williamson and Andrew Huberman. We're talking about that. So I gave that a shot just because, yeah, I would wake up first thing in the morning and I mean before
right to the coffee pot.
right to the coffee pot. And
First thing, yep.
when I was working out in the mornings before when I started working out last 2 years ago or whatever, again, I would take my pre-workout first thing in the morning with coffee, and then eventually that got not strong enough, or I didn't want the coffee in the
Holy
morning.
shit.
So, dude, I'd take 2 scoops of my pre-workout and wash it down with a Red Bull in the morning. The second I would wake up,
Oh my.
and I would go to work out.
Oh man.
And that's how I woke up. That was fine for me. And then I'm like, this probably isn't good for me. but years of the military and the fire department and everything like that, I have
you
a strong
build
tolerance
up
for caffeine.
immunity to caffeine. Yep.
So, yeah, I cut back on all that, and I was diagnosed with ADHD last year, so they put me on Adderall, and Adderall on top of all that caffeine did not mix well at all. There was one morning I took Adderall in the morning, went to the gym, took my pre-workout and a Red Bull on my way there, and by the time I got to the gym, I thought my heart was going to explode out of my chest. And I'm like, this is not good. I should not do this anymore. So I stopped doing that, cut back to non-stim pre-workouts, and then, I started to push out when I take my caffeine in the morning. I don't work out first thing in the morning anymore. Partly for that. Partly because timing and when I wake up, I'm limited on time. But yeah, I don't drink coffee right away. I make my breakfast. I make my coffee first thing. But that just gives it enough time to cool down that by the time I'm out of the house in an hour, I can start drinking it, sipping on it on my way in. So I usually give about an hour before I start taking in caffeine. I did cut down my caffeine intake. I only drink, I think, 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day. If I'm in the office. If I'm not in my office,
it's about where I'm at,
2 cups a day.
That's what I try to keep it to. And I've actually swapped out one of my morning coffees with tea.
Okay.
I like the Yogi tea has a morning something. I can't think of the name of it. But it's, I got some reishi mushroom in it and then pu'er tea, I believe.
I'll give you some pu'er.
It's pretty cheap. I mean, you get 16 tea bags for $5 or something like that. So it's got 50 milligrams of caffeine instead of the 90 in a cup of coffee. So I've even gone as far as swapping out coffee for tea every once in a while to lessen the caffeine content that much more. But anyways.
But yeah, I follow a tight daily schedule. Not tight, but my routine for the week is the same. I go to work. Every Monday night I have side work that I do or side projects that I do. Every Tuesday I have kids. Every Wednesday we do podcast stuff. Every Thursday I have kids again. Every Friday and every other weekend is with my kids. So I follow the same routine almost to a T every single week. And it sounds so boring to do the same thing. It was hard for me to decide to make that change to have the same food every single day because I love eating. I love food. I went to school to be a personal chef. I love cooking food. But I felt like shit because I was eating like shit.
Right.
Because I don't have the time. I have all the time in the world if I choose to spend it all cooking, but I don't want to.
Right.
Because I want to utilize my time
Cooking
more.
is time consuming, man.
Yes. And I
So
love
I
it.
try to do the meal prep, but man, I can't set aside a whole Sunday to cook all my shit for a week. I don't have that.
Mhm.
I got things I want to do.
Well, I can do most of it in about 4 hours. I can do all my meal prep and everything like that. I mean, sure, I got to portion everything out, but portion it all out. You spend a good Sunday doing it, you can get 2 weeks worth of meals prepped and frozen.
Right.
And then
Yeah,
you're
that is
set
true.
for a while. So that's been the biggest change for me was meal prepping. And that started when I started going to school last year, when I took a couple classes for the personal chef stuff. Just because my schedule got so fucking busy that if I didn't pack everything for the week, there was no way I was going to have time to do
Right.
shit.
Yeah,
So I
then you're gonna eat
started,
like shit.
yeah, or go spend a shit ton of money because I got to go eat out every single day.
Right.
And that, when you're a single dad raising 2 kids and paying child support, you sure as hell don't have money to spend on fast food and garbage every single day.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, to save money and to save time, I just started meal prepping and not cooking all the damn time. And, dude, that's changed so much for me. Just being able to eat the same thing, which is good food. I can cook some damn good food and still make it healthy, still make it taste good.
Oh yeah, it smells delicious in
And,
your house right now.
yeah, and that's what I'm going to eat the next probably 2.5, 3 weeks. Every single day for lunch and most of the days for dinner. But consistency, it's routine. And that's the biggest, consistency is the biggest thing. Consistency changes everything. If you're not consistent with it, you won't see results.
Right. Yeah,
If you
exactly.
stay consistent, routines make things consistent, make it easy to stay consistent, and then you're going to see the long-term results.
And be okay with the grind because it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, sure,
Learn to appreciate the grind.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to think about how much it sucks, but once you get to the end of whatever your goal is, the best time was that grind. That's a loud ass fly. But as far as routines go, I mean, I follow a very consistent routine with that kind of stuff. I don't do in depth. I don't meditate. I don't do the cold showers as much as I'd like to. That's on me. Meditation, I probably really should. But
I think everybody should.
making the time to do it, that's on me.
That's my opinion. I was just gonna say, as ridiculous or ruthless or however you want to classify it, this may sound, for anybody who says, I don't have time, I will challenge that and say, you're not trying hard enough.
You're not making the time. You have time for anything you want to do. It has to be what you want to do.
Yeah. Prioritize it more than the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what bullshit you have, because we all have it. What can you cut out? Where can you be more efficient?
If you take a step back and see how much time you waste.
Excuses. Because I don't have time is a fucking excuse. I've used it plenty, so I can say that.
Yeah. And you'll justify it. You will sit there and justify that you have no time for anything.
It doesn't have to be an hour. You don't have to start working out at 60 minutes, all out every day. Start with 5 minutes.
Just be present. Just go to the gym.
Right. Do something
Make
about
that
it.
a habit.
But don't say I don't have time. That's a fucking excuse.
Do something on your break. Do push-ups. You can.
If you want it bad enough,
you'll get it.
You can do it. Stop with the excuses. It's really that simple. It may sound heartless, however you want to classify it again, but it's the truth. Stop with the games. Stop with the excuses. Put your nose on the grindstone.
It's not that you don't have time, it's that you don't have the discipline.
Exactly.
To utilize your time efficiently.
A trait that is becoming all too present nowadays.
What's that, a lack of discipline?
Yes.
I would agree.
Our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. We all want the short-term goals or the long-term goals now. We're unwilling to work for it. We need to bring it back. There is quite the renaissance going on right now. If you look around, there's a
lot of people realizing a lot of things.
Yes. It's good. We need it desperately. I think that's a good place to end it.
I agree. I don't have anything else to share about routines.
Yeah, there's our daily routines, our weekly routines, and the different tactics, tips, tricks to win our days, win our weeks, win our months.
Win your years.
Win life. It's a never-ending journey, but hopefully we have a few things that can help you. And yeah, we'll
start now, make a
bunch of
change.
Information linked in the show notes below, so make sure to check those out. Yeah. If anybody wants to do a caffeine challenge with us, let us know on social media. I say we get something going. Let's see how many of us we can get to cancel caffeine for a month. See what it does for us. I think it'd be good.
Cut it out completely. Yeah, I'd be down to do that.
Hit us up on social media. Let us know what you think. With that, we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.